All right, it's 10 o'clock. Let's get this thing started. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Our webinar is on reducing slips, trips, and falls in your restaurant. Before we get started, we'll take just a quick minute here and talk about Society Insurance. We're a regional insurance carrier based in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Right now we write in 9 different states. Let's see, we've got Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, and Indiana, Iowa, Tennessee, Colorado, Georgia, and Texas. We've been writing workers' comp insurance since we started in 1915. Today we also have property, liability, commercial auto coverage with extensive knowledge and experience in protecting the hospitality industry in specific. Our specialty is providing insurance for select business niches with a focus on small details that make the biggest difference. My name is Shelby Blundell. I'm a Senior Risk Control Representative for Society Insurance, been with the company since 2010, mostly based in the Chicagoland area, but go around some in Indiana and Wisconsin. We also have with us today Brian Johnson. You want to say hi, Brian?
Brian Anderson here, Senior Risk Control Representative in the state of Wisconsin. I've been with Society Insurance for 9 years.
We've also got Jay Van Derzen.
Hello, everyone. Jay Van Derzen. I'm a risk control rep for the northeastern part of the state of Wisconsin, and I've been with Society for a little over 25 years.
And last but definitely not least, we've got Levi Bart.
Hey everybody, I have been with the company since 2021 full-time and currently cover the southeastern part of Wisconsin.
So as you can see, we're coming from a lot of different areas and relying on technology to cooperate. So if there's any technical glitches, please bear with us. But hopefully it goes smoothly this morning. With everything these days, you have to have a little bit of a disclaimer. I'm not going to read through it all, but I'll let everybody take a quick look at that. And we have learning objectives today. We're going to discuss the proper floor care maintenance, review spill cleanup best practices, identify best areas for floor matting, and identify some common interior trip hazards. We're going to start out making everybody think just a little bit. Got a quick question. Slip, trip, or fall injuries account for what percentage of all workplace accidents? Is it A, 8, B, 44, C, 27, or D, 44? Give everybody a chance to chime in here. Looks like everybody's leaning towards 44, but the 27's gaining ground quickly on them. Go ahead and give it just another second here and close it out. Looks like most people thought it was 27%, with 50% of you saying 27%. The correct answer on this one actually is B, about 15%, and that's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Slip, trips, and falls led to 450,540 work injuries and 865 work-related deaths. So you can tell this is a big topic. This is a big deal, something we really need to be talking about. And we'll start out talking about it with Jay.
Thank you, Shelby. And I just want to thank everyone for attending the webinar today. Again, today we're going to talk about some of the steps you guys can take to reduce slips, trips, and falls in your restaurants. So slips, trips, and falls are one of the most significant loss exposures for any business. And why is that? Because it's a hazard for both your customers and your employees. And as you can see, I'm not going to go over all the statistics on the slide, but statistically, it's one of the leading causes of both injury and deaths, according to the CDC. Some of the common but very preventable hazards that are factors in slips, trips, and falls. Again, I'm not going to read every one, just cover a few of them. Spills, uneven mats, matting in bad condition, poor flooring, bad lighting, and improper footwear. Now, every business owner has many tools in their toolbox that they can use to reduce the potential for slip, trips, and falls. And some of these are floor mats, maintaining steps and stairways, proper floor care, and spill cleanup. And today we're going to be covering those topics in our presentation. First one is Floor care, floor cleaning. Proper floor cleaning is one of the most important steps in preventing slips, trips, and falls. And we start there by how often should you clean your floor? Well, it should be done every day, either after you close for business or before you open in the morning. One of the first steps in proper floor cleaning is always getting the proper cleaning product. You should always get the correct cleaning product for the type of floor you're cleaning, because not all cleaning products and floors are the same. You also want to take into consideration the type of contaminant that you're cleaning. In kitchens, you're going to have grease and you're going to have water on the floor. In entryways and the dining areas and things like that, you're going to have water and just everyday dirt. And then in restrooms, you're going to have other types of contaminants that you need to clean up. Floor care, how do we get adequate floor care? It basically starts with getting the right chemicals, but also you need to train your employees on the proper use of your floor cleaning agents. Every floor cleaning agent is different and may require different amounts of cleaning agent. It may require a half a cup to clean this floor over here, and for a different type of floor, it may need a full cup. So, also, one way to get adequate floor care is to use separate mops for different parts of your restaurant. You want to use a separate mop for your kitchen and a separate mop for your front of house dining areas, and you want to use a separate mop in your restrooms. If you're using the same mop in your restroom that you are to clean your kitchen, I think the health department might have something to say about that. And one way to ensure the use of separate mops in your restaurant is to use, just an example, color-coded tape for your mops. For example, for all your mops that you use to clean your kitchen, put it's just an example, use a red colored tape on the handle. And for all the mops that you use to clean the flooring in the dining in the front of house area, you can use blue. And you can use another example, just green for the restrooms. One also thing you should also be aware of is that your floors, as they age, can become much more slippery just with the buildup of grease and wearing down and things like that. All right, so what you see here is a chemical mixing, a cleaning agent mixing system. We see these a lot when we're out in the field doing our visits with our insureds. What this system does is provide the proper mix ratio for your cleaning chemicals. They help you preventing from using too much or too little cleaning agent for your floors. I know sometimes we get the zealous employee that wants to get cleaner floors, so they use too much cleaning product, which can sometimes lead to making your floors more slippery. Next slide is reading labels. So you want to read the labels for all your cleaning agents. Again, different types of floors require different types of floor cleaning systems or chemicals. So again, train your employees on how to use these types of systems if you have one. I just want to talk a little bit about deck brushes or hard bristle brushes. So over time, grease can build up on flooring, like you see in the slide, the tile flooring. We see this type of flooring in a lot of restaurants. And you should clean your floors every once in a while with a hard deck brush or hard bristle brush. What the bristle brush does, it gets deeper into the base of the tile and it loosens up all the grease that's embedded deep into that tile. So the process is basically wet mop your floor, use a deck brush on it, and then remop the floor when you're done. And we also previously talked about color coding mops with the red, blue, yellow, green tape, whatever you want to use. You can also do this with a lot of your mop buckets and other floor cleaning equipment. Thank you.
People don't realize just how important that is, keeping the mop front of house and back of house mops separate. My younger brother, when he was young, he worked at a sub sandwich shop, and you wouldn't think that would produce much grease, but one day he used the same mop for front of house and back of house, and they had 3 slip and falls that day. And after investigation, they found that there was just enough oil behind the prep line, but it pulled it out into the dining room. So if they'd have followed the rule and had the separate mops, and that would have prevented several falls. Got the next question. All floor cleaning chemicals and detergents aren't created equal. This is a true and false. This one shouldn't be too difficult, but it is still in the morning. So if the caffeine hasn't kicked in, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out early because 100% of everyone said that it's false. And Levi, is that the correct answer?
Yes, glad to see everybody got it correct. So we'll spend a little bit of time here talking about proper spill cleanup because it's such an integral part of reducing slips and falls. And one of the things you'll want to determine right off the bat is who is responsible for cleaning up a spill. So there you go, for the next slide. The person who discovers the spill should be responsible for notifying and marking the hazard and then cleaning up the spill. It's suggested that the same person complete the spill cleanup from start to finish, as it will keep the sense of urgency. If you designate a different coworker to clean up the spill, it might leave a chance that they'll not prioritize the spill among their other tasks that they're given, and the spill won't be cleaned up in a timely manner. So for example, a person who's in charge of taking out the trash in the kitchen is also now assigned is now assigned to clean up the spill, and they decide to take out the trash first and leave the spill for when they come back. Meanwhile, the customers continue to access the bathroom and the wet floor hazard is still present. So it's always suggested that the person who discovers the spill, that they complete the spill cleanup from start to finish. If possible, you will want to block off the area immediately. So keeping the foot traffic away from the spill is important. And you might have seen these accordion style safety barriers. These are pretty effective in deterring foot traffic entirely away from the spill. Another option is to have an employee stand near the spill to alert customers and encourage them to take a different route to their destination if there is one. These caution signs can often be overlooked and forgotten. We've all seen these in restaurants or bars when we're out and about. These signs indicate to everyone that the floor is wet. This could be from a spill, maybe it's from melted snow, maybe it's from, the floor was recently mopped. So we just discussed how mopping during closed business hours is a best practice. And when I'm out in the field on visits, I always suggest that these signs be posted when the business is closed too, because sometimes that verbal communication between employees doesn't take place, letting their coworkers know that the floor was just mopped. So it's always a good idea to even post these if the business is closed, and it'll just notify your staff that the floor has been mopped. It's important to not leave these signs up permanently because this will repeat customers to ignore signs even if a spill has occurred.
All right, thanks, Levi. Yeah, I'll mention this toward the end also, but there is an attachment that you guys can download that's a proper floor cleaning and spill cleanup poster that you can put up around. You can also reach out to one of us if you'd like one that's laminated and stuff like that. We can always get that to you. So next question, falls from the same level are blank leading cause of employee injury? Is it A, first, B, second, C, third, or D, fourth? Go ahead and give everyone a minute to answer that. Looks like everybody's leaning towards first, but second is quickly catching up. I'll give everyone just a second here. Right now, we've got 50-50 for first and second. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out. And Brian, what is your answer on that?
Yeah, according to the National Safety Council, the correct answer is C. It is the leading cause behind overexertion injuries and exposure to harmful chemicals. So here at Society Insurance, we have several tools at our hands to help do floor audits. This is a picture of a BOT 3000E, which is an electronic tribometer that measures the slip resistance of surfaces, including floors, by quantifying their dynamic coefficient of friction under both wet and dry conditions. This instrument provides objective data that helps prevent slips, identifies hazardous surfaces, and ensures compliance with safety standards such as ANSI A326.3. This assessment assists our risk control staff in finding ways to increase the dynamic coefficient of friction. This could include having staff use a deck brush to clean the floors, purchasing additional mop heads, deep cleaning the floor, purchasing a different floor cleaning chemical, instituting a formal slip-resistant footwear program, and more. So we're going to talk about floor mats. Weather conditions could mean wet, snow, ice-covered walking surfaces, and the potential for a slip, trip, or fall hazard between outdoor unheated spaces and the indoor heated spaces. So in addition to the rainwater tracked in, you also have the snow and ice melting, which causes wet floors. There is a standard applicable to floor matting, and that is the American National Standard Guide for Commercial Entrance Matting and Reducing Slips, Trips, and Falls. It's B101.6, the 2012 edition, which was developed by ANSI to help prevent slips, trips, and falls. So floor mats, what they should do is stop soil and water at the door. They should store soil and water for removal. They should minimize tracking of soil and water. They should be slip resistant. There should be no ripples or curls, and they should stay in place when they are hit by a cart. Here are some of the right spots for floor mats. The entrance zone, which is the front entrance, back doors, side doors, and employee entrances. High-risk zones, which are the bathroom area to the hallway, around ice machines, prep sinks, produce aisles, anywhere there could be a little bit of moisture like that. High-traffic zones, which are hallways, checkout stations, and lead out from the kitchen. And productivity zones, which are workstations and customer service areas. Other high-risk areas can be the cooking and sink areas in the kitchen. These mats help with drainage in the kitchen and increase traction. They must be kept clean, which is a difficult task to do. Slip-resistant soles lower the risk of slips and falls in the high-traffic areas, hazardous environments of the kitchen, and the dining areas. The closed-toe design provides protection against burns from oil or hot liquids and against cuts from knives or other sharp objects. Proper fitting and arch support reduce fatigue and discomfort during long shifts. So people always ask us how many floor mats they need at the entrance of their business. According to ANSI, a 36-foot walk-off floor mat is what is required to take off 99% of the soil and water off your feet. Walk-off floor mats should be used at all interior doorways that lead to the outside. They need to be inspected and cleaned regularly and should not be oversaturated. Use low-profile abrasive matting in areas where there's grease, oil, or other hazardous liquids that may be present. Ensure any mat whose thickness of a 1/4 inch or greater that may pose a trip hazard has a beveled edge of a contrasting color. You should always select the mats with a slip-resistant backing on wet surfaces to reduce surfboarding. Surfboarding occurs when the mats are moved easily. We typically recommend looking for ANSI certified or NFSI certified floor mats. Here is an example of a good walk-off matting. You can see there's floor mats on both sides of the sliding door. You just have to be cautious that the floor mats do not interfere with the doors. Here's an example of a bad walk-off matting. At the top of the picture, there's a significant gap between the two floor mats. We routinely find flattened cardboard laying on the ground or even underneath floor mats in restaurant kitchens. When asked the purpose of this, staff usually tells us it's because the floor is so slippery in this area. The cardboard is actually a significant hazard. Cardboard can cause surfboarding. The cardboard also causes a heightened fire hazard as it is a combustible material which could spontaneously combust with the grease on it. When we see this, there's a high probability that the floors are not being cleaned adequately and additional measures will be needed to be taken to reduce the chance of a slip and fall injury. You should always immediately discard flattened cardboard in kitchens. You should always routinely inspect mats for buckling, curling, or material defect. Do not tape the mats down, replace the whole mat. You should also inspect floor grates to ensure that they are level with the surrounding floor mat surfaces. The size of the opening of the grate should be small enough so as not to allow a shoe to catch or a heel to catch. Do not place mats over uneven or damaged surfaces. Stairs of all types can be hazardous. In North America, tens of thousands of people fall down stairs and get hurt or even killed in the process annually. Stairs should be in safe condition and be of suitable design and dimensions for their use. Stairwells should be offering sufficient lighting. Handrails should be installed at the appropriate height that contrasts with the surroundings. Leading edges should have good slip-resistant properties. Edges should be clearly marked. Stairs should be free from trip hazards or obstacles, and you should not store items on the stairs. Here's some examples of some poor steps as well. Step nosing should be readily discernible, slip-resistant, and adequately demarcated. Stairs should be free of merchandise, displays, and advertisements. 2 sets of handrails should be provided to prevent slips, trips, and falls. There are some other trip and fall hazards: damaged or frayed carpeting, broken floor tiles, electrical cords, and potholes in a parking lot. All these should be corrected immediately after being discovered to reduce the chance of a slip, trip, or fall.
Thanks, Brian. That's all good information. Most restaurant owners contract with somebody to bring in their rugs, and you got to kind of stay on top of them because they'll bring in those old, worn out, wavy edged rugs. And unless you ask them to switch them out, they're going to bring them as long as you change, as long as you let them. And those wavy, rippled edges can be more of a trip hazard than anything. So it's something you got to look out for every day and take a walk around and look for any trip hazards. You can also go to societyinsurance.com. On our website, we have a lot of information for slips and falls. You can also, this is being recorded. It'll be on our YouTube channel. So anybody can go to our YouTube channel anytime to watch it if you want to sit some of your staff down and have them watch it on their smartphones as part of their new hire training, just to make sure that they're aware of the trip hazards. There's also 2 handouts attached. There's a slip, trips, and falls checklist and the floor cleaning poster. The checklist is a really handy thing that you could have a shift leader or somebody take around and just look for these things. A lot of the shift leaders are looking for more responsibility, would love to have the opportunity to go around and take a look at things, and maybe they'll give you some feedback. And between times that we come and visit, like I said, on the floor cleaning poster, we also have a spill cleanup poster. We can get those to you anytime. If you want them, just reach out to us. Risk control at societyinsurance.com is an email address that you can send requests like that to, or if you just have questions and want some more answers to. If anybody does have any questions, you can type it into the questions thing on the control bar. I see a couple of people have already asked questions, and we will answer those. And if anybody has any additional questions, go ahead and get those typed in. The first one I've got is regarding floor cleaning products. She's asking if there's any recommended specific type of floor cleaning product. Jay, do you want to take that one? Oh, Jay's probably on mute.
There I am. Sorry. We don't, sorry about that. We don't promote any specific floor cleaning brand, we would just recommend that you contact a floor cleaning company, a business that sells floor cleaning products. They're gonna be able to lead you in the right direction for all your floor cleaning products.
Okay. Yeah. The next one is, what type of shoes for restaurant work are best to wear in the kitchen? Levi, you want to take that one?
Yeah, the most important things are going to be slip resistant and then closed toed, obviously. And I know Shoes for Crews is kind of a resource that we like to point people in for just getting footwear for your kitchen stuff.
Okay. Yeah, Shoes for Crews, they've been around for a long time, and they do they set up things for payroll deduction to make it easier for the employees to afford the shoes if that's an issue. So that makes it a little easier for restaurant workers to comply with things when you're asking them. Third one, asking about the bot testing. Brian, you were talking about the bot. They're wondering how they can get their floors tested by Society.
Yeah, easiest way is to just get a hold of your insurance agent. They can reach out to us and try to get something scheduled. Or you guys can email us, as Shelby mentioned. Our email address is riskcontrol@societyinsurance.com.
And we got one more. I'll go ahead and leave this with you, Brian, since you're already up. What process should a manager take when a slip and fall happens? An incident report, not admitting fault, help the client clean up, etc. What would you recommend?
Yeah, I would reach out to the person, obviously talk to them right away, and collect their information. We have first report of injury and other incident forms on our website, which has a step-by-step instructions on what to do. If you have any questions, we can send you over one of our risk control folders as well, which details those step-by-step procedures on what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, those risk control folders have a lot of good information, including an incident report that we recommend using. And you're right, one of the most important things is gather as much information as you can, including taking pictures, video, names of who's involved. But yeah, the folders that we have all of that listed out step by step. And so send us an email or reach out to, if you know who your local risk control professional is, reach out and we can get them to you. That looks like all the questions we have. So I really appreciate everybody being here today. If you think of anything else, by all means, send an email or reach out to your agent and have them get in touch with us. We'll do whatever we can to help. Slip and falls are a big deal, but it's something that we can all work together and manage well. So thank you very much. Again, if you need to see this again or show it to somebody else, it'll be on our YouTube channel to look at anytime. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks, Brian, Jay, and Levi. We'll see you all at the next webinar. Thank you.